So happy. He's so proud of himself in that picture.
With all my flair.
That's not enough flair, though. Come on.
It's never enough flair.
Hey, you dorks, this is Gunnar Hansen, Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and you are listening to The Dorkening.
Hi, I'm Brian Johnson, and although you probably accidentally stumbled across it and have no idea why you're watching it, you are in fact watching The Dorkening.
Hello, this is Tom Kenny, voice actor, the voice of the Ice King on Adventure Time, and SpongeBob SquarePants. Meow. Oh, Gary the Snail, too. Hey, guess what you're filling your eye holes and ear holes with? The Dorkening! Oh, I love the Dorkening. Very popular in Ooh. And Bikini Bottom.
Hi, I'm Lou Ferrigno. You're watching The Dorkening. And you know what? You don't like me when I get angry, so don't get me angry. You better keep watching The Dorkening.
Hey guys, this is Felissa Rose, and you're watching The Dorkening.
Hey guys, it's Courtney Palm. We're shooting Death House, and you're watching The Dorkening.
This is Anthony Michael Hall, and you're watching The Dorkening. Stay tuned, my friends are going to show you what entertainment's all about, baby.
The Dorkening.
The Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Rise and shine, my sinners. When Father Evil starts his day, he gets a little deadly. Deadly Grounds coffee has the richest, smoothest flavor you'll find anywhere. It's sinfully delicious. Once you go deadly, you never go back. Order yours at getdeadly.com. Coffee's so good, it's scary.
Happy Monday, everybody. We have another awesome episode of Creator Spotlight coming at you tonight. My name is Leo, the monkey behind the keyboard. As always, we have Patsy. How's it going, my friend?
Well, if I was feeling better, I'd be in a better position, and I wouldn't look like I was 6 days dead after sleeping in a boxcar for a month. But other than that, I'm doing okay because I'm very excited for this evening.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. And out of nowhere, we have James. How's it going, James?
Doing good, guys. Welcome. Hello, hello.
James, you brought a guest with you tonight.
I did. I came with a very good guest, a very good friend of mine. I've known him for almost 5 years, maybe a little bit more. He's well known in the Comic-Con scene and cosplay scene. And now with his company that's been up and running for a couple of years now, we want to welcome Jonny Ruckus to the show.
Hi, everybody.
How's it going?
Not bad.
Actually, can I ask you a quick favor? Could you turn down the volume? I'm getting a slight echo.
How's that? Is it me? Hold on. I'm going to mute.
Okay. Testing.
It's not him.
Wait, I muted you, not me.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not you. It's not him.
Okay. Testing.
I broke it.
Oh, I think it's Patsy.
Me? That seems weird.
Let me fix it. It's never you.
Let me see if I can change my. That's weird. I even have echo cancellation on through my.
It's okay.
Well,
he'll be right back. So, Jonny, why don't you tell everybody, who you are, what you do, and why you're here?
All right. I'm Jonny Ruckus. I run RuckusTees.com, and it's a cosplay and drinking T-shirt website, and does a lot of pop culture items. like enamel pins, patches, things like that. Oh, he's back. Oh, no, it's me.
Awesome. So how long you been in the T-shirt business?
As an independent company now, we're going on 3 years.
Nice. Very cool.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's small. It's just me, and during the busy times, I'll rope in a couple of guys that come and, feed them with beer. But I do all the design work. I print, I market it, I advertise it, I ship it. I do everything.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. It's, I don't know if you, I actually used to work for a T-shirt company, and, doing everything on your own, that is insane. Now, how are you printing? Is it direct to garment, or you actually have the, I forgot the name of it, where you scrape the ink on?
Yeah. I silk screen everything. I got a 2-head press.
Nice.
Yeah, just do everything in my basement.
So, as an independent T-shirt guy, how do you stand apart from all these huge companies? I mean, there's so many that people have that they go to. They have their specific. Some folks are fans of like a T-villain or a shirt punch or something like that. How do you stand out and help yourself compete with folks like that?
Well, I think it's kind of nice. I got my own little niche because the majority of all my design work is all done based on the cosplay community. So I wish I was wearing one right now, but I'm just a ham wearing my own logo. But we always do all of our design work for the most part is all about being a cosplayer and a lot of things like issues you run into being a cosplayer. And it's always just try to be funny little design work with that kind of stuff. And it just seems like it's a market that no one's really felt like tapping into yet.
Good, like smart aiming for a niche market, especially where cosplay is absolutely massive and it's such an inclusive community as well.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, I've been a cosplayer now for over 10 years. So for a while I was just making I was just because I've been a graphic designer. That's what I went to college for. It's what I do for a career. So I was always designing shirts for myself and wearing them around cons, and everyone has always been begging me to get some of my designs as shirts. And I finally started to be like, I could probably start printing more than one T-shirt at a time, And it's nice because I played with the idea of just putting all my artwork up on Redbubble or something like that, but the quality, there's no quality control. It's all garbage. It's like $30 for a crap shirt. I won't pay that, and I don't expect anyone else to pay that. and I like being hands-on. I'm super controlling. I mean, James can attest for that. You know, he's seen me run like the Ghostbusters stuff, so he knows how controlling I am. So when it came to this stuff, it just seemed natural.
Well, and going back what Johnny says about control and having that's also a good thing, because I know when I'm on ruckustees.com and I'm ordering a shirt or ordering a pin or something on his line, and I have a question, the chat bubbles him, and I'm talking to Johnny. I'm not talking to a bot. I'm not talking to someone around the country. If I have a legitimate question or concern, it's either through the site or, you know, the majority, like you said, he has this little niche market where people actually know him and are friends with him in other media. We'll reach out to him directly, and he's responsive to a point where, what was it, last year you wrote like, hey, I got a complaint about a shirt, has anybody else had any issues? And opens it up to the community and being like, hey, like, if I'm doing something wrong, tell me. And I thought you got some really good responses from that. And I even chimed in, was like, I got a shirt that was cracked, but I didn't care. Like, it happens. And it was just, you know, and he's like, well, what do you want for it? I'm like, dude, don't worry about it. Like, and that shows that, you know, it builds brand loyalty. And, you know, I think he has, you know, you have a very good brand going for you. So
I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, it was always a thing where it started out just being like for friends. You know, I wanted to make funny shirts at a high quality shirt that's funny for my friends at a cheap price. It's never been, you know, I never got into this in the idea of like making money. Like money was always like the side part of it. It was just more like, I'm a decent artist. I mean, not great. I mean, all right, you know, you bring it up in my face like that, it's actually pretty bad. But it always started out being an idea like years ago. Like, I think one of the biggest sellers I've ever had is it's the Drinking Buddy shirt, which is literally just, it says Jonny Ruckus Drinking Buddy. And I've shipped those literally all over the world, which blows my mind. But I mean, like, you know, everything says sold out because the way that the website works is I only run, and it's part of the way I am able to keep my costs down, is the site only runs for 2 weeks a month. So on the first of the month, the website opens up and all t-shirt sales open up. So you can order, you know, t-shirts, tank tops. We just started doing hoodie dresses, baseball tees. You know, I keep on trying to find cool stuff. You know, like we have like a drinking hoodie, which I wish I was wearing it. It's literally got like a pouch on it to put your beer, and it has an elastic strap so you can actually pop the bottle right there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's a cute little gimmick. So that runs for the 14 days, and once the 14 days ends, that's when I order all my blank material and I start printing all the designs and start shipping out to everybody.
That's a really good model.
Yeah, it's worked out great. I mean, like I said, we're over 3 years now doing. I say we. We're over 3 years of doing this now. You know, and I produce a new shirt design every month. And in the last year and a half or so, I've gotten really into just making items. Like, I love making enamel pins. I'm obsessed. I have so many enamel pins. And I was getting sick and tired of not seeing stuff that I want as a pin. Same thing with patches. I mean, there's so much cool stuff out there that like nobody ever does. And I was like, oh, I could start figuring that stuff out.
By the way, those were my cufflings at my wedding. Was the Slimer enamel pins were my cufflings.
Very nice.
I remember messaging Johnny being like, dude, I need this like in like a week. Can that happen? He goes, yeah, sure, whatever, man. Threw it in the mail the next morning, and it was.
Wait, you like the Ghostbusters?
I don't know. They're kind of a lame fan group,
but. So you make the pins yourself too?
I don't make them in-house. I just do all the design work for them.
Gotcha.
I wish I had that ability.
Yeah, your designs though are awesome.
Oh, thank you. I try.
Yeah, Space Coffee. That's the one I was looking at. That one really caught my eye.
That's a great one. That the Star Wars community like went nuts for that design.
But there was also another. You also did it for a good cause too.
Yep. Yeah, we did the New Hampshire Food Bank. So a percentage of every sale went to the New Hampshire Food Bank.
Very nice.
But it's also, like I said, it's, you know, one of the things, you know, Johnny, is also some of the stuff that you kind of do is you're just not Ghostbuster fandom, but you've kind of taken on other fandoms that people might not have been, like your Return to Oz stuff. Like, talk about that and your love of that and stuff.
I mean, much like Ghostbusters, you know, Return to Oz was a weird movie that I saw as a kid and I obsessed with immediately. And much like Ghostbusters and, you know, needing to build proton packs and all that stuff, it was always a dream of mine to start building props from Return to Oz. So I was able to team up with a guy who's actually in the 501st doing Star Wars stuff. His name is Brian Anderson. And over the last 8 months, him and I have been building a full-scale replica of TikTok, which is the robot character in it, which is like the Wizard of Oz Tin Man version in that movie.
But you've also done the pins of the badge. You've done different qualities of that.
Yeah, I've done. Actually, I think I was a ham. I brought so the one thing I've always I never did it with my shirts, but I've always, because I'm a ham, I keep one of everything in this bag that I've ever made.
Oh, nice.
Which I had to start doing because I accidentally sold out on something, and I was like, I didn't even keep one for myself. It's like I produce so many, I often forget to just pull one to the side and put on a jacket or something. And then just one time I'm going to ship something and I pulled the last one out. I'm like, oh no, I never kept one for me. And luckily it was so popular, I did another run, so I was able to finally keep one. But so I keep my little baggie of one of everything. But like he was saying though, yeah, I got really involved in the Return to Oz and the Wizard of Oz community. So like I started doing pins for them, and their community is amazing. Like some of the like in all communities, nerd communities, there's always like the big guys, the heavies, which are like the guys who run everything. And they started contacting me about things that they want to have made. They're like, no one's doing this stuff. It looks like you have the ability to do it. Let's do it. So like we did like miniature keys replicas. And that's just like a 2-piece pin. Then of course, I pulled everything out, and now everything's upside down, so I can't even see the faces of everything that I just did. These are all my raws. Sorry, guys. I wish I had it just out and ready, like a professional.
Actually, while you look for that, Corey Henley Nicholson says, Ruckus, I don't know if you can see this, but my post got approved. You'll know what that means. Haha.
Yeah, him and I collect vinyl, and he posted something to try to get the community to pay for his new record player. So that's good. I'm glad.
Hey, whatever works for you.
Hey, no. If anyone knows anything about funding things, it's me. But like, yeah, this was like the most popular thing, Wizard of Oz, that I did. Let me take it out of the bag so you can actually see it. But I did these replica Army of Oz badges.
Oh, those are nice.
And like I said, and you did a first run, and then you like made it like better. Like you didn't you like make it out of different material or different?
Yeah,
metal?
so I did 2 runs in the distressed copper, and then someone in the community was like, "Well, at the end of the movie, he's gold, so you should do a gold run." So I did a gold finish as well.
That's nice.
Very cool.
Yeah, the Oz community is great. I love the Oz community. I really do. I can't wait to do more stuff in the Oz community because I've produced more than 500 of these pins now, and they can't stop me from doing it now. But like one of the funnest things I got to do is this. So the whole thing with this, it had the year on it. I think it was 1902. You could join something as a kid. It was called the Ozmite Club. So, and what it was is, as a kid, you signed up for the Ozmite Club, and they would give you Oz books, and you would read. It was all about getting kids to learn how to read and read frequently. And if you did it, you got this pin. Actually, I scanned in one of the newspaper clippings from it, so you could do it. And I found out in the Oz community that the pins, because they're over 100 years old now, the pins sell for like $2,000. Even broken. It's insane. So I talked to people in the community. They got me all the high-res photos, and I was able to redraw and reproduce the pin. It's right there.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's even got the Ozmite Club.
Oh, nice.
So I was able to take a $2,000 pin. Again, $2,000 broken. I was able to take a $2,000 pin and produce it for the community for $15. And I know I could have sold that for way more money, but it's never been about the money though. It's been about like doing stuff for the community. I want to do fun stuff for the community.
That makes sense.
I'm not a great businessman. I like just having fun. If I was a good businessman, I would have done the space coffee thing, a year and a half ago.
Well, you know, that's how you grow a very loyal fan base, though, as well. You know, is doing stuff for your customers rather than, you know, just trying to make a quick buck.
Oh yeah, I mean, I know like there's a million things I could do to make like a quick dollar. I know that, but I mean, like I remember it was over a year ago. It was like the super height of Mandalorian. Everybody was making Baby Yoda stuff. That was like everyone was obsessed with. Like there wasn't one artist friend I knew that wasn't making something for Baby Yoda. And while everyone was making shit for Baby Yoda, I made what the hell? I did Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, a movie that is 40 years old that no one saw.
Oh, I've seen that.
No, I put this up for sale and people were like, what the hell is that? I was like, the best movie ever.
And they had a sequel and an animated TV show that spun off of it.
They had 4 sequels.
Oh, Jesus, that I didn't know.
Oh, yeah.
I just have to say is when I was a little kid, I had a friend over and he brought that movie. And my mom saw it and she said, "You're never inviting them over again."
Smart mom. Smart mom.
Oh, it's such a fun movie, though.
Oh, it's so much fun. But like, no one remembers it.
Well, it was, because you did a whole like B movie line last year.
Yeah, I did.
Like, which I thought was very because and I felt like in now it's kind of grown. It's like every year you have a pin and a shirt, and before like the pins were a lot more like rare, but now like they match things. Which, you know, for me as a fan, like I said, is it makes it more enjoyable for to buy the shirt and the pin. Like, you know, and like I said, like this past month was the Ghostbusters sign, which that got some legs and ran with it too. When, you know, Ghostbusters News ran with it, but then with like the matching pin to go with it, it's like, oh, I got to get both. I got to like, I have to add it to like more of like the Jonny Ruckus collection. Same thing with like Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. That's, you know, all that stuff, which is just, it's just awesome that you keep doing that and you kind of package it and not doing it like one and then do something in line. Like, no, like, dude, like you said, it's for the fans. I know people want pins. I know people want shirts. Why not do them both? So
it's something that surprises me constantly. And especially like right now. So like everything's shipped out and everyone's getting their packages right now. And then people are taking like pictures of their enamel pin. Like, so that's mine over there, their enamel pin board. And they literally have like a Jonny Ruckus section of their board because they just, they specifically collect my pins. Because like, I think at this point now, I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 pins now that I've produced. And I got a new one launching next month. And then the following month, I start a pin set, which is going to be my first set. And it's going to be 3 pins in like one big card, which is exciting and nerve-wracking at the same time. But not even just that. Like people have like their own section of their pin boards just because they're like, okay, these are my cartoon pins, these are my horror movie pins, and these are my Jonny Ruckus pins. I'm like, that's so weird. But same thing with the shirts. There's tons of people that they share photos on Instagram or on Facebook, and they're like, okay, here's my drawer of Jonny Ruckus shirts, and it's like there's some people who specifically collect like the Drinking Buddy shirt in every color. So that's one thing. So all my shirts are always black because I feel like black just goes with everything. But every month I pick one color, and I only produce that color for 1 month. So like if January's red, you're gonna have to wait until January of next year to get a red shirt. And there are people who every month they go and buy the same design as a different color. And like that just blows my mind. And people are like, yep, here's my rainbow drawer of Getting Fit for Cosplay shirts. It's like the weirdest
That's awesome,
thing.
though.
It's super cool, and I couldn't be more appreciative of it.
Well, I was going to bring up too the Get Fit for Cosplay. Like that was something that, you know, prior to the pandemic, you kind of put forward as well as being group. Like, let's get, you know, healthy. You had a Facebook group. Like, tell me, like, how was the response from that? Being like, guys, like, we got to get like be a little bit more healthier, and like, I'm part of the group. Reaction you get and the support you get from people in that group is really like interesting and really cool.
Yeah, I mean it's a shame that the pandemic hit as hard as it did because it dropped a lot of people off. But we did a good job. So right before the pandemic, I always had this Getting Fit for Cosplay shirt, and the whole principal idea of it is, you know, we all want to be superheroes, so let's look like them. So I created a group on Facebook for Getting Fit for Cosplay, so people could, post how they're doing and share hints at like dieting and working out and things like that. And on top of it, I set it up so every 2 months, everyone could do a weigh-in. And so everyone weighed in when they first joined the group. They get their shirt, order your shirt, we do your weigh-in. I need a picture though. I need a picture of the scale so I know the weigh-in. And I logged everything in. And then every 2 months everyone gets to do another weigh-in. And whatever weight that they dropped, if they drop 8 pounds, they get an 8% discount on my website.
That's awesome.
Yeah, again, the money doesn't mean shit to me. Well, can I swear?
Yeah.
Of course.
The money doesn't mean shit to me. I mean, a lot of people who order from me and do stuff with me, I consider them all friends. And, to me, especially with that was one of those things where I wanted to see my friends live a better life, especially because about a year before that, I was close to I was over 210. I was like 213, 214. I'm a little guy. It was a lot of weight. And just eating healthy and kind of being way more cautious and going to the gym and stuff, I got down to 160. He had to do something to kind of point the bad drinking habits. I mean, I think I have as many drinking shirts as I do cosplay shirts. So he's got a point.
See, I'm in a much different situation. If I were to get down to 160, I'd probably be in a hospital.
I still got like 10 to go.
Oh yeah, that would be bad for me. I'm not as small a guy, I'm guessing.
I'm 5'7" on a tall day, so.
All right, so you're built similarly to my younger brother. My middle brother and I are both, hovering around 6 feet, 300 pounds. He's 5'7", 140.
Yeah, see, exactly. That's where I should be. I'll be happy if I get the 150 at this rate.
Hey, I mean, whatever works for you. You set your goals, you achieve them. That's all that matters is that you're healthy. That it doesn't matter what the scale says.
That's true. That's true. Actually, speaking of Thirsty Thursday, so I do stream in my bar. So I don't know if you can kind of tell. I mean,
I was going to ask you about why don't you kind of explain what we're looking at here? This doesn't look like
it's like alcoholic Funko Pops.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I used to host a lot of parties. So I used to have a lot of guys like travel literally the country to come up, like spend the weekend with me and get drunk and do Ghostbusters stuff or just hang out. And I was getting really sick and tired of everyone destroying my house. So I turned my garage into a bar. So
very nice.
So when I do live streams or I ride a bike, I'm not going to bike. So when
the best name for a bar I've ever heard, and it's still like one of the better bars out there for a title.
Oh yeah, it's the Untitled Bar Project. That's the name of the bar. I started building the bar. So whenever I'm doing something, I think of the project first and the name second. So like when in high school I played in bands, it was never about what we were going to call ourselves. It's whatever the sound was going to be. And when I started building the bar, I didn't have a name. I just knew I was building a bar, and I was just and I was just like, oh, I'm just building a bar. It doesn't have a name yet, blah blah blah. And I was asking everyone's opinion for names. And at some point, someone just was like, "So how's the bar project going?" I was like, "It's still untitled." And I was like, "Holy shit, that's it."
It's that moment of revelation when you hear the right. Ooh, nice catch!
Oh. Did you see that? Did you see that?
Yeah.
Holy shit! That'll never happen again.
Well, it wouldn't have happened, 10 minutes from now.
No, it won't.
Well, that was pretty impressive.
Thank you. I have my moments.
It's all professional too. Look at this. With the actual measurers, not doing that eye stuff. Wow.
No, I always measure. Okay, so I guess I could explain it. So I'm making a Midori, an amaretto sour. This is like my go-to drink in the bar. So it's 1 part amaretto, 1 part lemon juice. I'm not squeezing lemons tonight. I'm being real lazy. Oh, baby. And I'm out of like my big bottle of lemon juice, so this is a nightmare to do. Oh my god. That took forever.
Could be worse. That could have been like dishwashing detergent.
Yeah, it's like the same damn bottle, ain't it? And I need some simple syrup.
Blix just tuned in, asking, "What are you making?"
Amaretto sour. 1 part amaretto, 1 part lemon juice, half part simple syrup. Shake.
It wouldn't be a Jonny Ruckus experience without him having a drink in his hand. I'm gonna rent out the bar for a party.
There you go.
You got what?
I'm gonna rent out the bar for a party.
And I've had some great parties in here. I got a projector in here too, so I have like 150 I can't remember how big it is, like 150 inch. I don't know. It takes up almost the whole wall when it's going. Oh yeah, gotta have a cherry.
Only if I was closer. I'm only like 4 hours from now.
So yeah, where is your bar located?
I'm in New Hampshire.
Okay, so you're not too far from where we are.
Where are you guys?
I'm just outside of Worcester. Leo's in Connecticut.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, not bad at all. There you go. From New York to Connecticut to Worcester to New Hampshire. You guys just convoy to the bar. That's all.
Oh, yeah. How close are you to I forgot Lake Winnipesaukee?
I've lived here my whole life and I have no idea. It's not that far. It's New Hampshire. Everything's like within a stone's throw.
Okay. That's pretty much the only thing I know in New Hampshire.
Oh, what is it? Free Play?
Free Play? No.
The arcade.
Isn't that
no, that's
You think it's Fun Spot?
Fun Spot.
Yep,
Fun
that's
Spot.
what it is. I knew it was something.
Yeah, something
like that.
Love me some Fun Spot.
So Johnny, has there been in the 3 years you've been doing this, has there been any project or any shirt design, pin design that you were like, I want to do, but I just can't? Like, one of those things, like in my head, I have an idea, but it's just not getting from like brain to paper or like whatever, or like or whatever. Like, I'm just, something like that where you wish you could do, but you just haven't been able to.
Oh my God. Yeah. I'm a terrible designer. There's so many things. It's not so much that I think it's based a lot on my limitations. And what I mean by that is I have a 1-color press. I can only do 1-color designs. I've only done like 2-color designs a couple of times and it's a nightmare to do. So I guess that's some of the only few things that I have issues with, I guess. And the biggest problem is I'm not an artist. There's a huge difference between being a graphic artist and a graphic designer. That's most of my designs are all text-based. It's all layout work. I can't draw to save my life. The pins are easy. I can draw a pin all day, but to actually do like a full-fledged shirt, like if you look at stuff like Fright Rags does or T Fury, that's just not my wheelhouse. As much as I wish it was, even if I could draw that, I couldn't produce it. So I would have to like outsource it and have someone else do it, and then I'd have to raise prices, and I'm just not interested in that kind of nonsense.
No, I think you're doing well with what you're doing, and the designs that you have are great. It doesn't have to be this overly complicated thing. Like if you're at a convention, you're walking around, that's one of the biggest things to do is to, check out other people's T-shirts. And if somebody's got a shirt that's got like 9,000 characters on it, all running around doing different things, and somebody else has a shirt that just has Ghostbusters on it, you're going to be like, hey, that's a sweet Ghostbusters shirt. As opposed to, hey, that's a great reenactment of, I don't know, Hannibal crossing the Alps. Like, what is that? Like,
I always think of shirts in the idea that you're driving past like a road sign. Like how fast are you going? Like if you're walking one way and this person's walking the other way, how fast are you going to be able to visualize this shirt to understand it? And I feel like all of my designs pass that test. I mean, it's big, it's white, it's bold. It's only going to take you 2 seconds to know what's going on in one of my shirts.
And I think it would help cut down the creep factor, especially when it comes to cosplayers. If someone's wearing a cosplay shirt, it's like, oh no, I was just reading your shirt. That's all I was interested in. It's like you followed me for 3.5 concourses. It's like, well, I'm sorry, you have a complicated shirt.
Not anymore, baby. It's easy.
Have you ever thought about? I probably asked it before. Last time I saw you at a convention, I mean, would you ever want to set up a booth, an actual real Ruckus Tees booth at like a Comic Con and see how you can do? I know your biggest worry, I remember talking, was always overhead. And
The overhead is for something like that. It's huge, and it's not so much that I don't have the money to do it. It's just it would be such a risk to do at one of the shows that it would be a sink or swim situation for me. Especially at like one of the bigger shows. Like if I decided to do something at like Rhode Island or Boston or one of the fan expos, it's one of those things where it's like, I feel like for the most part, if it doesn't work out, then that's it. I got to close doors, and I'm just not. I guess I'm not at that point where I'm willing to take that risk. I've talked to my manufacturers for like the place I'd buy blanks, and I've seen other people do it where they actually literally bring their press into the convention and they're printing on demand. So it's a concept I thought would be a lot of fun, is to actually get a big enough space where I could bring my print heads in, and someone's like, oh, I want that World's Okayest Cosplayer shirt, large. I'm like, all right, blank shirt, throw it on there. Watch me print it. Watch me flash it. Take it as you go. I think it'd be a fun little experience to do, but it's definitely one of those things where if Fan Expo is going to charge me $2,800 for a booth, then I got to pay the state tax before you're allowed to leave, because a lot of the conventions require that. Then the overhead of what I'm going to pay for power, because the power is going to be $280, and then transporting all my stuff, and then I'm buying, how many shirts do I need? Do I need 100 shirts? Do I need 500 shirts? Do I want to have 500 shirts hanging out in my garage if it doesn't work? Right now, I have a good system going where if I get, last month I had about 160 orders for tees. I order 160 tees, print them, and get them out. I don't have inventory. I don't keep a lot of stuff on the shelf. I keep stuff in case I screw up a print, but I can't just, like, you can go to my website and just grab an XL baseball tee. I just don't keep that kind of inventory laying around.
I think that makes sense. I've talked to a couple of folks who I'm not going to name them because I don't know if they want me to be telling tales out of school or not, but they've done conventions, it's smaller, t-shirt companies, much like yourself. And, they're like, I've done the conventions and you would expect that I would do well here, especially at one of these, but it's not even worth it for me to, load the stuff out of my car. It's like you said, it's very, very hit or miss. It depends on where you're placed, who's next to you, what's around the corner. The location is everything with these things. And, and like you're talking, $3,500 for, hotel and the booth space. Unless, do they let you sleep in the booth? Like that could save you some money. They bring a cot. Just set out a nice pile of t-shirts, sleep on that.
Yeah, and even with everything I was just saying, I didn't even factor in the fact that I'm going to need a hotel, gas, parking, all that stuff. I mean, my cost would end up being over $3,000 right off the bat, selling $20 t-shirts. It's a huge gamble.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to. I think it'd be really fun. I mean, I definitely, the thought process in my head, it's either going to be, it's the same way I felt about Guardians of the Galaxy when they announced that movie was happening. I like to think of myself as a comic nerd. And when they announced that they were making the movie, I'm like talking tree, talking raccoon. I was like, this is either going to be a fucking flop and no one's going to watch it and it's going to end Marvel movies, or it's going to be the biggest thing in the world and no movie will ever top it. And then the trailer came out. I was like, there you go. That movie's going to be a huge hit. That's how I feel about Ruckus Tees having a booth at a show. It's either going to go really well and it's going to take off and the website sales will skyrocket, or it's going to tank me and I'm going to shut the website down. The website's going to link up to an OnlyFans so I can pay back all the conventions.
Hey, OnlyFans link back to just you making drinks all night?
That wouldn't be so bad.
I mean, you did add the button this past month.
I wish I didn't, but I did add that button. I just thought it was. I saw one of my favorite bands I listened to because of the pandemic. They're not touring or anything right now, so they're putting out a ton of merch. So I'm always going on there and buying merch. And they added a buy the band a drink. It's like $20, and you don't get anything. Your money is going towards the band. And it was like $20, so I went and I bought a couple of them. And I was like, oh, that's funny. I'm going to do it for me because I'm always out in the bar drinking. So I put a buy Ruckus a drink. And so I should take one step back. The website launches on the 1st of the month. The first Thursday of the month, I do a Thirsty Thursday. So at 8 o'clock on the first Thursday of the month on Ruckus Tees social media, I live stream in the bar right here. And I just shoot the shit with everybody. I'll do it for, it depends. Sometimes I try to do it for an hour, but sometimes everyone ropes me in and I'm out here for 4 hours. But this last month was the first month I had to buy Ruckus a drink. So people, while I was live streaming, would go on and buy me a drink and keep me going. So anytime it's like, I think we got to wrap this up, I'd get a notification, like a thing would pop up on my phone being like, so-and-so bought a drink, $5. And then they'd be like, all right, I bought you a drink, make this. And I was like, oh crap. So I had to go and make whatever they told me to make. And I'm doing shots. I was up until we started at 8. It was almost midnight by the time. And I was shit-faced. I was like, guys, I got to really go to bed. And I woke up at 6. I woke up at 6 in the morning to get ready for work. And I'm like, am I still a little drunk?
Who shit my pants?
That's how it was, man. It was rough. I was like, this ain't good.
I need to either go to bed or go to the hospital. We got to pick one or the other.
I was hungover. I walked into my office and I was like, I'm hungover. Just leave me alone. I'm just going to sit here and do spreadsheets. Just leave me alone. Don't talk to me.
So cosplays. So you mentioned some of the cosplays you've done, over the 10 plus years you've been doing it. Out of the ones you've done, I mentioned in the show notes prior, the JD from Scrubs is, I still think, one of the better ones you've done. But what are some of the other ones that you have kind of in your arsenal and that you do kind of bring out from time to time, especially when it comes close to Labor Day in Georgia, where the fun comes out for.
So I don't know if you guys know, but there's a convention that goes down in Atlanta. It's called Dragon Con, and it's literally like a 6-day party. It's awesome. That's my jam. You get there like Wednesday morning and you're drunk by Wednesday afternoon. And you don't go home until Monday night of the following week. And it's kind of an interesting way that show works because it's a cosplay convention. Everyone is wearing a costume. If you're not wearing a costume, you're the odd man out. But the thing is, though, with everyone wearing costumes, there's 2 thought processes to it. You're either an A+ cosplayer, like A+ costume, or you wear something funny. So I went down there my first year, and I didn't really understand that. So I went down there with my Ghostbusters stuff, thinking I was going to be like hot shit, only to find out there's 300 other Ghostbusters that look just like me. No one could give a crap. Didn't matter how accurate my stuff was. No one cared. But I knew being a party drinking convention, I wanted something more comfortable. So I was like, oh, I'm going to dress up like JD from Scrubs. I had a big picture of Turk and I walked around with that. You would have thought I was in like a $10,000 costume. I was mobbed for photos the entire time. Like people down there, it's like I said, it's either going to be huge or it's going to be like stupid and ridiculous. And ever since then, that's all I do. I stopped trying to make impressive shit. So like me and another guy, we did Mario and Luigi from the Mario Brothers movie. Like we made like the big boots and stuff, and people like lost their mind for that. Me and another guy, we dress up as the guys from Basketball, which is like a crap ass movie that no one remembers.
Trey Parker and Matt Stone.
Yes, exactly. One of my all-time favorite movies.
No one remembers?
Huh?
No one remembers? Come on.
Not a lot. It's one of those things. That's one of those costumes where you walk around and someone goes, "Holy shit! I don't remember what it is, but I know it," which is great. That's the reaction I want. So that's a lot of. I just make a lot of goofy stuff now. Like a more impressive thing is like I do Ash from Ash vs. Evil Dead, and that's a lot of fun. I got to meet Bruce in that, and he started asking me questions on the build, which I thought was funny. because like that's like Ghostbusters. That was one of those costumes where I got like super nerdy about it, like within the quarter of an inch of accuracy.
That's pretty rad, though.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, I don't have any of the props around me, so I can't really show you. Like I built the chainsaw and the shotgun and all that dumb stuff. I did Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Mm-hmm.
So I built the bots. Actually, if you guys talk for 10 seconds, I can go get one.
Talk for 10 consecutive seconds?
Oh,
that may be difficult.
I don't know if I can do that.
Well, that one, Johnny, in his accuracy is, I remember he showed me the harness where he has the shotgun for Ash, and he kind of was like, this is where it came from. This is what I found. I discovered it. It was actually like one of those. I didn't know that. And he kind of made a point of like explaining that to me. So like stuff like that was really interesting.
All right, I found Crow.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, he just hangs out in my bar now. He's seen better days. I gotta go back through and start tightening some of the stuff up. Just, you know, because I think Jesus Christ, how old is this thing now? You're getting old, buddy.
With that, when Boston Comic-Con was still at World Trade Center.
Yeah. I went and I had him and Tom Servo with me. Gotta work on that string, buddy. You need some work. And I took again. This is one of those costumes where like me and my wife went down. And we dressed up like Joel, so we had the red jumpsuits and we had the two bots, and people like lost their goddamn minds.
Mm. I mean, I could see that. I could see like that's one of those things that, you know, people would lose their minds over. You know, like anything that has like a strong sense of or a strong tie to a very specific piece of nostalgia where, you know, groups of nerds kind of, you know, have bonded over the years because of their love of that specific thing. Absolutely. You know, like everybody's watched MST3K, but not everybody's like super hardcore into it.
Well, I think that's become a thing when it comes to me making costumes now too. Is like I'd rather, instead of getting like 10 people being like, oh my god, like getting 100 people being like, oh, that's really good. I'd rather have the 5 people lose their shit.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
and that's what Mystery Science Theater will do. The people who see that like really appreciate it and lose their minds.
Well, because Mystery Science Theater just keeps getting $3 to $5 to $8 to $9 million from all their friends every couple of years. So,
they always bleed us dry.
But they give you quality stuff in return. So I mean, there are worse things to throw your money at.
Yeah.
But you know, kind of to touch on your you know, buy Ruckus a drink thing. You know, I don't see that any different as setting up a Patreon.
You know what's funny is I know people who have Patreons, and on their Patreons they specifically have things where like, buy me a drink. You don't get anything in return. And they don't get any. No one ever does it because it's stupid. And then I go on and do it, and people like can't stop buying drinks. But I think it's like this. Like I'm doing the live stream, and people get to tell me what I have to drink, and like punish me. They make me do shots. Punish like I don't like drinking.
So what are you making now?
I'm sticking to another amaretto. I mean, I would do a shot. You know, I'm having fun. I would do a shot.
Go to ruckustees.com and buy Mr. Jonny Ruckus' drink.
Somebody buy me a shot. Maybe before the end of the night, because I like drinking. I'm not shy about it. I'm very safe. I'm a very safe drinker. I like to say
if you're a rum guy, there is a distillery / vineyard in Cape Cod in Truro, and I just went down there for my 40th, and they have a very limited run of their rum that they make. They only have 1,000 bottles of it. It's $100 a bottle, and it's the best rum I have ever had. I generally go there every year with my wife for our anniversary, and I get 1 bottle of their spiced rum, and it lasts all year because it's not like, oh, I'm just going to make myself a rum and coke with this. It's like, no, this is a fine sipping rum. Like, you leave it in the fridge after a while, like the sugar crystals start forming at the bottom. Like, it's so good. So that's what I would recommend.
See, I don't end up spending a lot of money on my alcohol. Usually anytime I'm having an expensive drink, it's because somebody brought it over. I have like a $150 bottle of tequila. I have a $250 bottle of scotch. I wouldn't buy that for myself. I just want to get the job done.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'll put my own sugar in there. I'll make it taste good.
Like I said, he's not there to make money. He's just there for the fans.
That's all. If I was in this for money, man, it would never work out.
Has the cosplaying and even in now the shirts, open interesting doors with some of these other fandoms, or even some of the IP holders that kind of hold these fandoms in check. Have you been able to kind of check out some pretty cool things in the years you've been doing this?
I mean, definitely, like we were talking about Return to Oz. Like, I never until I started like producing like the pins and stuff. I never was like in the community, and now I'm like a respected member of the community. Everyone that community. It's like Ghostbusters, James. It's like everyone in that community knows who Jonny Ruckus is, for better reasons.
Trust me, a day does not go by when someone of my friends send me the photo of Jonny Ruckus outside of the principal's office or the boss's office. That meme, I think, gets circulated more than almost any other Ghostbusters meme in the last like 5 or 6 years. And it's just
I get tagged in that weekly for years. Fucking years. Like, I've never not tagged in that. I have friends who are like, "Is that you?" Like, people who don't know like the costuming community is like, "Is that a picture of you?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's me from like 8 years ago. Thank you."
That's awesome.
Like Think Geek, New York Comic Con, they all use that meme. And I mean, stupid me, I don't watermark anything, so like I never got any credit. It's just me getting tagged. Like, people are like, "Oh, it's a Johnny." Yeah.
Well, like I said, in some of the photos that you've shared on your website, and it feels like, and I always go back to the CM Punk photo, which is still one of the coolest photos. I'm a wrestling fan, and it's like one of those things where you see it and you're just like, holy crap. Like, he's a huge nerd just like everybody else. And, those interactions, I mean, you probably have hundreds of those types of interaction stories and stuff like that.
The story of that interaction is better than that photo will ever be. So, like, I don't know. Are you guys like at all like wrestling nerds or anything?
Oh, I know CM Punk.
All right, so we found out that CM Punk was going to be at a convention in New York, and me and the guys that I used to do Ghostbusters with, we're all Ghostbusters. We're wrestling nerds too, and we're all CM Punk fans. And for the longest time, just because like I love trolling, it's like one of my favorite things, and I always love trolling the Ghostbusters community because there's a lot of sensitive people in there, and it doesn't take much to rile them up. So I always used to say, "I'm the best Ghostbuster, better than everybody else." I'm not even close. But I love seeing the reaction that people get. It cracks me up. So I always used to I made like a Ghostbusters shirt that said "Best in the World," and in the world had my Ghostbusters logo and stuff. And then when CM Punk was announced for a con, like everyone was tagging me like, "Johnny, you gotta go, best in the world, best in the world." I was like, "Yeah, let's go do it." And like when you're going to like one of these conventions and you're gonna meet a celebrity, you start like playing in your head like what's gonna happen. Like, he's gonna like laugh at you, he's not gonna give a shit, or he's gonna like freak out. And guys are gonna be like best friends. So we're going down there, the four of us, and like none of us think anything's gonna happen about it. We're in line for the photo op, and they're like drilling us. They're like, "This isn't a meet and greet. This is a photo op. Get in, get out. 15 seconds." So we're like, okay, that's fine. And he's behind like a curtain thing. So when we go, I'm the first one to walk through the curtain. He's sitting in like this tall director's chair. I go through the curtain. The first thing he looks at me and he goes, "No fucking way." And I'm like, oh, he's in. And he's like, "Where did you guys get that?" And we're like, "We built it." He's like, "No, you didn't." I'm like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh, he's in." So I just take I had my gun out, my thrower, and I put it in his hands. And I'm showing him, like, I'm hitting the buttons and stuff, and he's shooting it. And I'm like, "Do you want to put this on?" And he looks at me, he goes, "Fuck yeah." And he like stands up and grabs a chair and tosses it out of the way. He's like wrestling with his phone to get someone to take pictures for him. WWE is in the photo booth, so they get like their photographer there taking photos. The Wizard World people are bullshit because we're in there for like 15 minutes. Because I'm getting the proton pack on him and strapping him in, and he's got his cell phone getting pictures. Then WWE wants their pictures. Then Wizard World needs their photos, and we're just. He's like, "What are you guys doing? What are you guys doing after this?" And we're like, "We just drove here to see you." He's like, "Jump in line for the autographs. I'll take care of all of you." So we all jump in. We get free 8x10s. He signed my proton pack and did all this stuff. And we talk again. We're in the line for like 20 minutes, shooting the shit, talking to him. And then he's got his Q&A afterwards, and he keeps we're standing in the way back of the Q&A, and there's like 1,000 nerds in there, and he keeps yelling at us from the back on stage and stuff. It was unreal. And then like we leave to go home, and he's tweeting looking for us. like
That's fucking awesome.
It was like when we're driving home, we're like, I can't believe this happened. And then our phones started lighting up, and like someone's like, John, CM Punk's looking for us. And like it's just screenshots and like, had a great time in New York. Where's my Ghostbusters at? I was like, okay. We started messaging back and forth. It was so crazy.
That's awesome.
Very cool.
And just by showing up in a proton pack.
That's all it takes, man.
Well, following up on the thing, Johnny being like controlling people. How many times, Johnny, I think it's funny, is like, oh, Jonny Ruckus, he's kind of like arrogant, and he's kind of like, he's just like, it just reminds me of like, again, like, you know, growing up and you had the heels and the baby faces in wrestling. And I'm like, and I had to like to tell you something, like, guys, like, he's actually like a really nice guy. Like, once you get to know him, he's like unbelievably nice. He's awesome. And I'm like, he loves wrestling. And like, okay. And he's like, Roddy Piper's like his favorite wrestler. And they're like, oh, and then kind of the hamster finally like clicks over. And I'm like, guys, like, go talk to him. Like, he's a really good guy. And it's funny because they're all like, I said, it was something with the New Jersey Ghostbuster group, one of them. Johnny is involved in this system. He's just through acquaintances, like they know a thing, and Johnny's doing his own thing. And it's literally just like, I know, and I'm sitting there and I'm watching it happen. I'm like, oh, keep going, dude. Just keep going. Because I know this is just what he likes to do. And it is what it is. I actually, like, after the dust up, after this fallout happened, I remember one day I all of a sudden the guy that was involved, he unfriended me, and I was like, I didn't say anything. I was like, oh, I'm friends with Johnny. And I'm
usually how it works.
A couple of Johnny's friends, and like something came up where I had to come to Johnny's defense, and I was like, guys, like, have you ever talked to him? No. So you're just seeing him online? Yep. Like, don't, like, it was kind of that thing, and in a lot of my Ghostbusters friends right now are kind of like, oh, okay, now they've actually met him at conventions, interacted with him. It's funny when you said, like, it's that I'm the best in the world, and people take that to heart, man. And it's just funny when Johnny's just like, yep, okay, I'm gonna run with it. If you guys want to keep doing it.
It's so much fun. It's so much fun. It's they're so you don't even have to say much to rile them up. You don't have to say anything mean. You just have to show confidence, and that's enough to drive them batshit. But James is right. I mean, in the Ghostbusters community for a long time, and it's chilled out. I've chilled out a lot. I've kind of calmed down doing that stuff. But it was a lot of people are like, I hate Jonny Ruckus. Have you ever met him? No. But I've heard he's not a good guy. I'm like, all right. And then most people immediately are like, oh, I get it now. He's just, everything's fun. Sometimes.
And that's what it was before I really got to know Johnny. It was the same thing, especially when I started doing the convention circuits and we started doing like conventions together and kind of meeting up like by happenstance. They were like, well, you know, Jonny Ruckus does this and he just gets drunk and he's an embarrassment. Why would you associate with him? And I'm like, I don't know the guy, but okay, sure. And then I met the guy. I met him at I think I really first met you at Rhode Island when we were over by like the metal wall. And that's the first time I really got to introduce with Johnny, and that's one of my favorite photos with the Hello Kitty proton pack. And he was just, again, it was one of those things like, wow, everybody was completely wrong about you, and I don't know where this came from. And then we started talking. It was Bobby Roode was like the thing and played his music, and it was like, okay, got it, awesome, like I get it 100%. Like it was just one of those things like, I don't know where this came from. I have no idea why this happened. So,
well, a lot of that hate was artificial too, because it was me and the guys. We made the hate. the whole I hate. We had a thing where like a bunch of the GB&H guys and other Ghostbusters, they all would purposely post stuff about hating me, just so we could get more reactions, because we knew that if you did that, the rest of the internet was like, well, they don't like him, I'm not going to like him either. And we all thought that was really funny. We just knew we could manipulate the internet, so we did it.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be that difficult.
It's really not. It just we always thought it was funny. We basically made a fake campaign of making everyone hate me, and then we just kept kind of rolling with it. And I fed into it. I just thought it was fun. You know what? The biggest thing is like I would rather have 100 people hate me for no reason and have 5 people who know me generally like me than have 100 people just want to like me. Like I'd rather have that small group of people who are like, oh, I know he's a good guy because I took the time to know him, and have 100 people think I'm just a dick for no reason. Makes me laugh.
What has been what's been the scariest thing about opening the shop and running the shop? And what's been the most surprising thing about the shop?
I mean, the scariest thing is, I mean, it's always been the risk of some of the projects. So like when it comes to like doing the t-shirts, I have that pretty like locked down. Like financially, I know what I can do. I know what I can't do. I know what needs to be done to make sure I at least break even. If I break even, I'm happy. The scary thing though is when I'm doing stuff like enamel pins or bottle openers or what else have I done? Patches. I did my own beer pong set. Actually, I have one right here. I made beer pong stuff. I love beer pong. See, I got a trophy behind me. I have several beer pong trophies. But like I did right there, I did the Ruckus League beer pong. And it's just, that's one of those things where it's like, I don't do pre-orders. Like the shirts are kind of a pre-order thing, but like no matter what, if one person orders that shirt, it's getting made. But with this kind of stuff, it's such a gamble, and Killer Tomatoes is one of those instances where like by the end of the month, I was lucky I broke even. I almost went into the red because of a concept that I thought was good that no one else did. So that's always kind of a scary thing, especially like I mentioned earlier that not this upcoming month, but the following month, I'm doing my first pin set, which basically means it's the price I pay for pins times 3 in one hit. So it's going to be an expensive month that I'm basically gambling on myself to know what I'm doing design wise and client wise.
I think you've done well so far.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can't complain. I mean, no pin has lost me money, and that's great. Because like it's all stuff that I want, you know. I've never, again, like I mentioned before, I could be doing Mandalorian. I could be making tons of money doing Mandalorian, WandaVision, Winter Soldier. I know what people want. I could bank on those if I really wanted to, but it's not what I want. I want Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I want Mouse Hunt. I want Starship Troopers. I want Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I want Batteries Not Included. I want Short Circuit. I want
my God.
I want Tremors.
You're just like throwing out all the great.
I want all the B movie stuff that people forget about until someone says it out loud. Like your reactions right there. Every time I said one, you're like, oh, that's what I want.
I mean, Batteries Not Included is a fucking classic. Short Circuit. Oh my God.
Amazing. Yeah. And none of those get love with merch. There's nothing out there.
That's true. I'd buy a Johnny 5 robot like they sold in Short Circuit 2.
Right, I have one.
See, I would get one. I'd get the big one when he's all gold and shiny at the end.
I'm surprised that Johnny hasn't got one of those because he's talked about those big Johnny 5s multiple times.
Well, I got lucky. I got to do stuff for Sony, and I got to meet the real Johnny 5. So,
nice. That's rad.
Humble brag.
Yeah. So, Johnny, one last question for me. And you said you're scarce. What has been the most surprising thing from Ruckus Tees and what you've been doing?
All right, definitely the most surprising thing, and I say this, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. And everyone thinks I'm being a smart ass, especially because like the best in the world and all that dumb shit that I kind of still do, but don't really. I don't put a lot of stock in myself, and by that I mean I don't put a lot of stock in my own name. I know, yeah, Ruckus Tees is the name of the company, but it's just Ruckus. When you get down to it, it's just Ruckus. But there's tons of designs on there that are like Jonny Ruckus Drinking Buddy, Johnny Rum Buckets, the Jonny Ruckus Social Media Rehabilitation Center, the Ruckus Drinking Team, the Ruckus Club, the Ruckus Beer Pong. Anytime I do one of those, that's what makes me nervous. I don't put as much stock into my name as a brand as apparently everyone else does. I think that's it always works. I mean, it's never been a concept that's failed. It's just every time I do it, I'm like, that's not going to work, and it surprises me every time I do it.
It's definitely a sign of humility.
I just like I've done like this. This is Grumpy Ruckus. A friend of mine drew this for me, and I loved it so much. I try to put it on everything, and everyone loves it. They freak out. I did acrylic pins of it, and everyone lost their minds. And I don't know. I put stock in my regular artwork, my regular designs. I don't put that much stock into stuff with my name on it, and the stuff with my name on it always does really good.
So I got a kind of a geek question for you. Now, I can totally understand why you don't do direct-to-garment, because the quality normally sucks on those. But with patches, have you thought about getting like an embroidery machine so you can make them in-house?
The price of an embroidery machine is nuts, because I have looked into that. And it's just, it's been easier for me at this point. I mean, I don't do a lot of patches to begin with. But embroidery machines are just insane. And it sucks too, because I've had a lot of people being like, you got to start doing hats. Everybody wants hats. And it's just that upfront cost has scared me away from doing it. Same thing with a direct-to-garment machine, because that was something I was interested in, because that's something I could like really sink my teeth into. I mean, it's a quality issue for sure, but sometimes you gotta bend a little bit. I mean, like I could still have like, I use really expensive t-shirts. Like the shirts themselves are like, I don't do 100% cotton. I don't do Gildan. I do like American Apparel or Next Level, and it's always got to be 65-35. Nothing but poly touches this body. It's got to be real soft.
Sandmar.
No Sandman. Oh, garbage. So yeah, I mean, it's just that upfront cost of those machines are just so high, and I can't. At least when I was doing screen printing, I could get a crappy machine to start off with. There's really no crappy embroidery machine. You buy a crappy embroidery machine, you're going to get what you pay for. At least with a screen print setup, you get a crappy one, you can still fudge your way through it.
I hear you. Yeah, we had some embroidery machines where I used to work. Scary story. It was a rather large company, and we had a disgruntled employee that left, and they went in and like deleted the drive that had a lot of our designs in it.
Oh my God.
So for the embroidery, we had a lot of reorders and everything. We had to go back to the old 3.5-inch drives that the embroidery designs were still on.
Yeah. So getting the information that I know from doing this, I worked for a promotional company, and we had an in-house embroidery and an in-house screen printing. So I know exactly what you're talking about. That sucks. That guy's a dick.
Yeah. It was a bad time. The company went under a couple years after due to the recession, but yeah. Wow. But it was fun to work there though.
Oh yeah, I had a blast while I was working there. I mean, I took all that knowledge I could so I could do what I do now.
Nice. I know we are running on time. Did you guys have any other questions before we wrap things up?
No, I think I'm good. I gotta go order some stuff.
Yeah, totally.
I'm waiting for my email on Friday night to see what's going to be open on May 1st.
When is? I know I open up at the 1st. I don't even know what the date is.
Saturday.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, Friday night the subscribers will get their preview, and then the rest of the world will find out on that Saturday what. That's the other thing. I used to post everything in advance, like a week in advance, so people could get hyped. Nah, I don't do that anymore. You find out the day it's available.
That's fair.
Are you going to do any more of the anything back from the graveyard? Any old shirts that you might bring back into recirculation? I know you did that like one year. I think you did that one time.
Yeah, I've only brought one thing out of the graveyard. That was the 2 hungover to cosplay, because I got so many emails about bringing that back. I couldn't ignore that anymore. And it's one of my favorite designs anyway, so it didn't hurt my feelings to do it. There's something on there, and I don't know if I'll actually go grab this so you guys can see it, because it's pretty badass. That I would bring back that's in the graveyard. I've started talking to a new manufacturer to help me.
Oh, we lost him.
We lost him. We'll give him a minute to pop back on here. The that filmation thing was awesome.
Yeah, no, he's good like that. Like some of the stuff he does pull up is pretty impressive. Like he says, a lot of that stuff.
I go get a drink and you guys kick me out.
Leo's like, he's gone, quick.
Bam!
And he was just talking about your filmation one.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the filmation.
Yeah.
That's a fun one. That's a good one. And that was a 2-color. That was a nightmare to do too. Like I said, I have a 1-color press, so for me to do that was a pain in the ass. But I made these. This is the drinking buddy product. And what this was, and James, you've seen me use these at the conventions all the time. So this it's just like a regular bottle, right? Like canteen thing, except we'll unscrew the top. Right. But now you unscrew the bottom. And then once you unscrew the bottom, you take your beer bottle.
Oh, nice.
Use that. Bottle opener on it.
I think Johnny was getting stopped by security too much.
And then the cap itself has a rubber stopper on it too.
Oh, that's ingenious.
There you go. No spills, no leaks. And now you can just freely drink whenever you want in public.
Pretty good.
That's ingenious.
So if I'm bringing anything back from the graveyard, it's these bad boys. I'm a big day drinker. Not at work, but have you guys been to conventions? Have you been to like a Comic-Con?
Oh yeah.
They're terrible. I can't be sober during one of those things.
Yeah, it's not easy.
It ain't easy.
It's never fun going when Johnny tries to check in to help build the booth and he gets stopped by security, and we have to go like help him sneak the rest of the beer and do another entrance. So Johnny,
pretty good at that
on the convention.
I snuck in 2 cases of beer by putting each bottle individually in a sock, so there was no clanging noises. in the gear case that they were in had a fake bottom, so when the security did open it up to look, they just saw plastic, and then you lift that plastic, and there's all the bottles laying there.
I have a feeling this is what happens down at Rhode Island, right? Is that the convention?
I've never been to Rhode Island Comic-Con, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, true. I forgot.
Mm-hmm. I've never done that at a convention before.
Yeah, James, what kind of question was that? Live on the air.
That's why I'm not allowed to go to these conventions anymore. That's why I'm not allowed. The group's just.
That's why we can't have nice things.
That's why I'm a liability.
Is that why, James? Is that really why?
It was that, and then I scheduled my wedding at a convention, and that was just the end of that.
Well, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I urge you definitely go to ruckustees.com, and we have a link in the show notes down below or up above, depending on where you're watching or listening to us. And it's 4 days. You're going to have a new design ready and a new color. And we urge everybody to check it out.
Really going nuts on the color. Doing something real crazy I've never done before. So
tie-dye.
I'm not saying what it is. I'm not saying what it is, man. But definitely a gamble.
Nice. Well, Johnny, I know you have Facebook. Is that where you like interacting with your fans the most?
Facebook's fun. Instagram's fun. I mean, there's a live chat on my website. If you go to ruckustees.com, I'm going to be the guy you talk to every time.
Nice.
People love screwing with me there.
I think you like it in reverse too.
It's fun.
James,
you can find me on my show. It's Go Time with Jay and James. New episode will be out on Thursday, right in time for the draft. To see if Bill can draft a quarterback, or is he going to draft out of the first round and do?
He can't.
He's going to draft out of the first round and take some long snapper from Rutgers.
Yeah, that's it.
But check us out, and then also I'll be back on the show on Wednesday for the Dorkening this week. And what about you, Mr. Patsy?
Well, you can find me every Thursday on Throwdown Thursday podcast. We just hit 250 episodes a few weeks ago. James was kind enough to send a little message that we played as an Easter egg at the end. Leo was on that show as well, and James did jump on with Harrison at the very beginning. So we had Harrison come on, which was unexpected. And you can also find me in the Throwdown Thursday Facebook group, the Loudest Sports Show Facebook group, which I have been battling some health issues, so that's we haven't done that show in a couple of weeks, but we will be doing our draft special this week. And you can also find me over at Major Sports Drops, which you can get some amazing memorabilia. I think we just gave away, what did we just raffle off the other day? Oh yeah, a Magic Johnson signed college jersey, the Michigan State Spartans, along with a signed mini football helmet. I know Magic doesn't play football, but yeah, we gave away a signed Magic Johnson football helmet.
Nice.
Very cool. That reminds me, I have something to show you after the show. I found some stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. And for me, just Google Leo Pond. You find a bunch of stuff. Could be true, could be not, but more importantly, follow these awesome people. A lot of links in the show notes down below or up above, depending on where you're watching or listening to us. For me, I do this show every Monday, Tuesday. We do our splash pages, the Comic Book Club. Wednesday, I produce the show for Still Token Wood, and then we do the Dorkening as well. A lot of stuff going on. Some more awesome guests coming on. Just like Jonny Ruckus today. And with that, we'll catch you guys later.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining.
Thank you.